So in this War Thunder video, we're actually going to be talking about something I think it's actually really interesting and even is worse, to me at least, than the $70 price tag on some of the new premiums coming out, and that is with the new winter event. So if you didn't know, the new operation, I think it's like Winter Quest or whatever it is coming to the game. We're getting some pretty interesting vehicles. Some of them might not be the stuff that you want to see within the game, but we are getting some vehicles and as well as some decorators, all that sort of stuff. People have already covered this, but the thing about it is, just like every news company or every game company or anything that tries to put on information, they kind of know, just like I know, many people don't like to read. So what happens is that they put the controversial stuff that is more likely to cause a rise out of people, or have like a negative intention to it, towards the bottom of the article. And if you go look at the bottom of the article of the Winter Quest event, you can see that there's this thing called an ice chest, and as well as a New Year's trophy for golden eagles. So if you've played some of the events before, with the ice chest, it's basically just like the SL chest that you're able to gamble your SL away and see if you can get some wonderful stuff like some vehicles. And for this one at least, there's stuff like the Ersatz M10 in it, which is a vehicle that I don't think has ever returned to game until now. And some of these can be put into coupon form, and some of them are automatically accredited to your account, but that's not really the intention of this video. I think these are terrible. Both of these are. And as we have seen going forward with these events, they've gotten worse. The Silver Lion events, or like the gambling for them is not the best in the world, but at the same time you can earn this currency for free, and people who have massive amount of SL can spend it on and maybe get some interesting stuff, maybe some event vehicles that they missed and all that sort of stuff. The chance of actually getting one is extremely low. Personally, for me at least, I spent about 50 million SL on these boxes the last event, and did I get anything? No, I only got like a decal and I think a decorator, and that was about it. Now with the SL loot boxes, you kind of have like a conflicted opinion on it whenever it comes to most things, because some players have a massive amount of SL, or they just SL grind with certain premiums or only play low tier vehicles, and they don't really have anything to spend it on. Fanatical Freeman is a really good example of this, that used all of his SL to get some cool event vehicles that he personally did not have whenever it came to the other events, even though he spent I think 150 million. I'd have to fact check it with him with that one, but at the same time it wasn't worth it at the end of it. He is now broken War Thunder, which he doesn't mind because he can make back that SL very quickly because he is a meta slave whenever it comes to the game. But the thing is even after you spent that much SL, you basically wasted the amount of it unless you really wanted a vehicle. And at the very end of it, he got vehicles he didn't even want. He got the XM8, and I think he got one more, which was a vehicle he already had, so he only got SL for it. So I believe those two things is very negative whenever it comes to these things. And then at the end of the day, I know this is a very rare scenario of this actually happening, but you have people who don't understand that maybe they shouldn't spend their SL on this, because the drop rates I do not think are public. But the Type 62 for Russia, yeah, that's the only one that's public I'm seeing right now. But as you can see, some people do not know what their chances are. Maybe they think the chances are higher for them to actually get it unless they look through other sources, which I think is a terrible thing to do, especially whenever it comes to loot box type systems with us. And then you also have to worry about the people who are actually buying SL with GE, so they're able to unlock these loot boxes, because once again, these are vehicles that some people want to get. Some of them have never been introduced into the game again, and this could be the only way to get them, and I think it's overall a really bad thing. Now, I'm sorry to say it, but this video's got worse. So Gaijin has been doing this Silver Lion thing for a little bit now. I think around 2 events. I think last winter event, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments about this, because I don't care to go look it up, because I'm just honestly not the happiest about this whenever it comes to this, and really have just been looking at other areas within the gaming sphere right now, especially on World of Tanks, and it's just a terrible system whenever it comes to this. And I'm actually kind of tired of looking at it, because it's really sad about what is happening within some video games right now whenever it comes to just monetization. But for this winter event, Gaijin has introduced the New Year trophy. So the New Year trophy basically has a bunch of the premiums that are now taken away from the tech trees, where you're able to obtain them. So you're able to get stuff like the M26E1, the good old Mi-24D, the IS-2 Revenge, a bunch of these vehicles which are no longer available within the tech tree. So basically, the easiest way to describe this is the SL is more or less for event vehicles, and then the GE boxes are more for the vehicles which are just just been took away from the tech tree. Most of these have been superseded by something, or that they were just not good, so they took them away so people would buy them, just because people like to collect things within War Thunder. Now the thing is the reason that I personally think this is worse now is that these now cost G, so now they're costing actual money to get them, and it's still a gamble of if you would be able to get these vehicles in general. So like if you open one of these boxes, you can get anything from a premium vehicle all the way down to like I think 100,000 SL, or even like 1 day of premium. Now with these, they have actually introduced some of the drop rates, so 15% for 1 day of premium, so that's probably going to be very common to get. You're going to have the 100,000 SL, which also be pretty common, the boosters, which is 20, and the universal backups, which is also 20. So overall, this thing is going to be a pretty interesting thing to see. There's a lot of numbers involved with this, and it's going to take a lot of time for people just to understand what's happening, but at the same time, it is kind of sad to see that War Thunder has actually went down this route. And the reason that I'm honestly sad about it is that War Thunder has had loot boxes within the game for a while now. Some of them have been on the marketplace, some of them have been within the game, but the difference, at least for me, is some of these vehicles have been able to be obtained for free from doing events, and as well as there's a set price on the War Thunder market where you're able to see what is the price you'd be able to get one right now without having to gamble away for it. And the other thing is, within the game itself, those G loot boxes to me are a waste of money. Like you can go guarantee you get one of the vehicles just by going into the tech tree and getting one in general. Now by no means do I actually like the thought of loot boxes within War Thunder. If it was up to me, I'd personally get rid of all of them, just because I think it's a very anti-consumer practice that has went on within video games. And around like 2 or 3 years ago, pretty much just everyone started going after EA and all of these companies from putting loot boxes in their games. Luckily now it seems like for majority of companies, they have actually transitioned from loot boxes to the battle pass system or monetize in different ways, and I think it is time for Gaijin to actually do the same. Now here's a little thing, right? So a lot of you are probably going to watch this video and be like outraged by it and want to go to the forums or want to post in game, don't buy loot boxes or don't go buy stuff within Gaijin in general. And the thing is, Gaijin does have a rule against doing that. You cannot promote not buying stuff within the game. Now the thing is, do I agree with this rule? No, but at the same time I do understand why it is a rule. Now imagine if you take the same scenario and you put it into like a real life situation of like, let's just say you go inside of Walmart and you're just starting to scream at the top of your lungs, do not buy anything in this store. This store is a scam. This store is different things, expletives, all that sort of stuff. And you know where that will get you? Right in the county jail, or right in jail where most people go whenever they're a nuisance to the public. So the way to get your opinion out on these types of issues where it is technical against the rules to talk about it in an official sense, you want to do like 3 things, right? So you can go promote it on the Discord you're in, you can go promote it on like the War Thunder Reddit, and the third one, and probably the best one to do, is just don't buy these loot boxes. Don't promote the active gambling within War Thunder. Now once again, this might seem a little bit contradictory, but if you want to buy loot boxes, power be to you, I guess. I'm definitely not going to tell people how to use their money or anything like that, but I would highly recommend you to probably like look at it and see if it's actually something you want to invest your money into. Now, to end this video off with something, I want to actually talk about why this video is being made in the first place. And the reason because of that is probably not surprising to a bunch of you, World of Tanks. So if you've not seen World of Tanks in a long while like I have, I recently went back and looked at some of the monetization things that they've been doing during their winter events as well, and it's just straight up gambling. Like that's what it is. Like there's vehicles that you can only get with inside the loot boxes themselves. There's vehicles that are pretty much like able to get, like I think they actually added rentals, like by looking at it this year, where you're able to get rentals instead of the vehicle itself. So even making odds probably worse to get these vehicles in general, and then giving players like a little bit of a taste of how these vehicles play, and maybe that would make them want to gamble even more to try to get these vehicles. Now I really don't want to just sit here and just do the whole wargaming bad type thing, Gaijin good type thing, but the reason this type of video needs to be made is because I never want to see War Thunder turn into this. If you want to go look at more information whenever it comes to the World of Tanks, whenever it comes to this like sort of stuff, I definitely would recommend it. And to end this video off on something very funny whenever it comes to this, I actually went and looked at one of the YouTube videos whenever it comes to the loot boxes in general, and as you can kind of suggest, that the loot boxes for World of Tanks are going to be downvoted to all hell. But there's some interesting comments that the official World of Tanks account actually made, and they're pretty funny to look at. And yeah, I'll let you guys look at them, but till the next video, I will see you guys then, and definitely will be streaming some War Thunder whenever it comes to the event next week. So I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next War Thunder video.